So for the first time in 2024, we have an update from XDefiant, like the actual XDefiant account and socials for the game. We've seen plenty in regards to leaks, hints, rumors, reports, you name it, but for the first time in 2024, the brand has finally said something, and it's something, but probably not what you're hoping. Drop your thoughts as we go along, drop a like if you enjoy the video, and make sure to subscribe for more XDefiant and other FPS coverage. And if you want to stay connected with the short form content, follow us over on TikTok as well. We've been posting more regularly there, so love to see you out there. But anyways, let's jump into it. So earlier yesterday, the official XDefiant account tweeted simply "update on XDefiant" with the following attached statement. It read, "Defiance, first and foremost, thank you for your continued support for XDefiant. We are proud to have such a passionate community, and we thank you for your participation in test phases, including our insider sessions. This game has always been community first, with player feedback as a top priority. While we hope to go live by the end of March, there are still some improvements that we need to test before that. We're finishing preparation for a 12-hour server test session that will be worldwide on PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC. The goal of this test is to stress our servers and get our critical data to prepare us for launch. This is where we need your help to test our servers as much as possible. As always, feedback on your experience is important to us. After this short test, we expect to be able to lock in a launch date and start sharing more about the exciting content XDefiant has to offer in the future. Thank you again for standing by us. We'll be back once we are ready to share more news. Signed, the XDefiant development team." So from this statement, there's both good and bad. The bad obviously being that you're seeing an official delay once again here, pushing the game well past half a year overdue by the initial launch intentions, which, with the silence leading up to this initially declared Q4 or March 31st date that Ubisoft set for the game, with those earnings reports, we kind of saw this coming, right? Like, it's not really any surprise that we're seeing a delay. They made this announcement the last business day in that entire Q4 period, and so now from here, it's just a matter of where do we go. At this point, I don't think that I'm really upset or surprised or anything like that, but more so it just is like a totally neutral feeling where I'm like, well, now our thoughts are confirmed, so it is what it is. I'm a bit bummed we didn't get any real more information out of like a targeted window for release at this point. Again, with how much we've seen in terms of reports, leaks, rumors, and all that kind of stuff, I'm assuming that we're getting closer, but as for how close, that's still up in the air. There was no clarification here on this. Now, that was the bad news, that of course we do have a delay. It's going to be later than we initially intended. But the good news, I guess, that you can take out of this as silver lining is that a playtest is coming up, meaning you can jump into XDefiant again here, upcoming for the first time in months. Actually, since September, in fact. So half a year at this point. So nothing is confirmed in regards to the timing of when this will be. I'm assuming within the next couple of weeks here with this, but the only caveat to this play session that it's going to be a 12-hour server test. So you only have the ability to play for 12 hours upcoming, as opposed to like a 3-day period, a 4 or 5-day period, or whatever like you'd see with an open beta. Personally speaking, and this is likely showing my ignorance on the subject, I don't quite understand the reasoning behind a quick limited test rather than like a weekend of testing or something like that. Like, I guess on one hand, you condense that player pool into a much smaller window, perhaps more players in that time because of the fear of missing out on playing again. But I also feel like if you had a weekend test, it would be a more accurate depiction of player population at large. Like a whole weekend where players would come and go. Throughout that, you'd get the accurate representations of the fluctuations in player counts at peak times versus the low times as well, versus if you had it like at starting 10 a.m. Pacific time on a random Tuesday. If that's the case, I mean, in that where it's a business day, you're missing out on like 7 hours of time where a heavy number of players would just be at work or something, unable to jump on during that time. So to me, I just feel like a weekend long test would have been a better assessment of server stability. But again, perhaps that's just me. Probably why I don't run these or plan these tests of any kind. So in terms of content availability, again, nothing specifically was mentioned, but if it's anything that follows like the last limited play session we had in September, it should be about the whole experience readily available to play, if not the entire thing available to play in regards to what we saw with the betas. And as such, it doesn't seem like there's really a whole ton that's like withheld from the prior game sessions versus the launch upcoming. So it's basically going to be a little early access window into the majority of the full game. The only thing that will be different, I think, in regards to content offering is that any ranks, any earned progression or anything like that, any weapon levels you make, that stuff's not going to carry over into the full game. And honestly, I'm not expecting them to have any sort of battle pass unlocks for a 12-hour window of play. But I mean, who knows? It is quite possible that I could be wrong on that, but it's just not what I'm expecting here with this. So I guess, again, the good news or the silver lining here out of an actual delay is that we are going to be able to play the game here before the launch, just again in a smaller window of time. So the overall sentiment here with this one and this actual announcement itself is, well, the community is naturally just memeing on it. I kind of think that's understood or to be expected at this point. Overall, we're just at that point where impatience is in full swing. I mean, the game was intended to launch as of the summer of last year, so anywhere from July, August, September. But honestly, it's been multiple years now in development where the game has been announced. We've been seeing this progress and progress and progress, but seemingly not hitting that finish line. So to now have an undetermined amount of time that we have to wait again, naturally, there's frustrations there with that, and I totally get it. Now, personally, I'm excited to play the game again, but honestly, I was just hoping for a little bit more than a 12-hour window. Again, with how much has apparently been done on the back end to fundamentally restructure their entire netcode system, I feel like, again, just coming back to the more accurate depiction of not only just the player population in full fluctuations like a weekend test, but I mean, if you have a whole fundamental rebuild of a system, I think you'd want to test it for more than 12 hours, but that's just me. A bit confused as to why we haven't seen a set date just yet, either on that playtest. While there's still probably work being done, I feel like if you're that close to it that you're announcing it's coming, I feel like you're also close enough that you can kind of give a rough estimation on when that would be. But again, maybe that's just why I don't make the big bucks on this kind of stuff. But anyways, that's where we're at. XDefiant delayed, but with a silver lining perhaps to it. So I guess it's however you may take it. So let me know your thoughts down below. Before we wrap everything up, though, make sure to check out my friends over at Gamer Advantage for what I firmly believe are the best blue light glasses on the market. I've worked with these guys now for over 3 years and cannot recommend them enough. I think they're the most lightweight, comfortable, and durable frames out there, and I definitely think they've helped my daily productivity. Now, full transparency, yes, they are a bit more of an investment, but I do think your vision's absolutely worth investing into, especially if you're like me, you're looking at a monitor, your phone, or you're gaming for a good chunk of the day. So if you guys would like to learn more, at the very least, I'd recommend checking out their website where they can better break down the science and all the specifics of their product way better than I could, but what I can personally say is that I'd highly recommend them. So if you guys want to learn more, again, check the link in the description below. But if you'd like to pick something up for yourself, use code Espresso to get 10% off your entire order. But for now, that's where we're going to wrap it up. Let me know your thoughts down below. Like this information out of the newest XDefiant announcement. Did you see it coming? You disappointed? Whatever the case, drop your thoughts down below. But if you enjoyed the video, you found it at all insightful, do me a favor and drop a like on it. And if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe for more XDefiant coverage, more FPS content with Season 3 and Modern Warfare 3 content upcoming, but also other stuff as well. I'd love to have in the community. For now, though, thanks so much for watching. My name has been Espresso. I'll see you later. Take care and peace.